All right, thank you for watching. We're dealing with the subject of shacking up today, and we're in Matthew 24, verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. This is prophecy for the tribulation period coming up in the near future. And during this time, they're marrying and giving in marriage, and that is going on today. What you have here is people that basically move in together and they shack up, and then they later on at a later date decide to go out and get married. In God's eyes, you're already married. Okay, if you have a covenant and you have coming together as one, then you have a marriage. That's two things that are required for a marriage: a covenant and coming together for one as one. I'd like to show you a couple verses on that just to show what I'm talking about here. We'll go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. They come together as one, they're one flesh. Okay? And as far as the covenant, we're going to go to Malachi. Verse 14. Yet you say, wherefore because the Lord hath been a witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. It takes a covenant relationship, and it takes coming together as one. That's what your marriage is. And Jesus Christ dealing with the woman at the well, there in John chapter 4, he says, go call your husband. She says, oh, no, I don't have one. He said, yep, you said that well. He said, you've had 5 in the past, and the guy that you live with right now, he's not your husband. And so when he was telling her to call her husband, it had been referenced to number 5. And evidently the man that she's with now, those two things are not together. The covenant's not there, and the flesh coming together is not there. Either one or the other, but they don't have them both. And I think that sometimes there's a lot of misunderstandings about what's going on with young people that shack up. I've seen some really good children grow up strong in the Lord and leave home, and the next thing you know, they're shacking up. And everybody's surprised, the parents are surprised, and people in the church are surprised, and they're not sure what's happened, And I know that a lot of people are scared to have a big public ceremony. That's one thing to consider. When I was a lot younger, I was scared of public speaking and getting in front of people. And I've known soldiers that were in combat that were, had killed people, and real true-to-life soldiers, professional soldiers, and they come home, but they're scared to get out in front of people and make a public speech. I knew a guy that was scared to walk the aisle. He got saved, he was scared to walk the aisle. And I don't push people, when they get saved, I don't push them to walk the aisle, but it's recommended that you go public, in front of your church. Or you can do it privately with your friends, whatever's good for you. Some people just cannot, they're not really into going out in front of a lot of people, They're scared and nervous about getting in front of a lot of people. And when a girl gets married, her parents want her to be queen for the day, and they want big marriage and big ceremony in a big church or a beautiful outdoor scene, and I understand that, and the girl wants that too. But sometimes her husband-to-be is he's kind of like, he likes his privacy. He's not into being out in front of a lot of people. He's really scared of that. It torments him, and maybe she's long-suffering with him, and they move in together. And what I would do in that kind of situation, I would encourage them to consider having a small private ceremony. It can just be the parents and maybe some brothers and sisters or close friends, or maybe do it right in your living room, or go down to the creek, or just a real small private ceremony that there wouldn't be any fear involved. That's another option. And the Bible says, let a man leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, and they twain shall become one flesh. When they come together as one, and they have a covenant with each other that you're mine and I'm yours, they have that covenant there, then you got yourself a marriage. In the USA, that would be like a common law marriage. They go out and they move in together, and they live there a certain period of time. In the government's eyes, they're married. In God's eyes, they're married as well, although they haven't gone out and went public with it. And so I would encourage, if you're in this situation, you find that your daughter or your son is shacking up, that kind of thing, and he's with a good girl or she's with a good guy, you got to look at it from every end. And I would encourage them just to consider having some kind of a private ceremony. Even though they're already living together, I would go out and go public with it in the form of a private ceremony. I wouldn't go in there and bash them. I wouldn't go in there and try to rip them apart or nothing like that. I would just, be long-suffering with them and pray for them and pray with them. And I think, eventually they'll consider making it public. But that fulfills the prophecy. We're in the Church of Laodicea, which means rights of the people. People want their rights to do this and their rights to do that. We live in a very apostate church age, and the prophecy was marrying and giving in marriage. So when you shack up, you're married. You have that covenant relationship. You have flesh coming together as one. You have a marriage right there. And then they go out and get marriage later. That's a total fulfillment of the prophecy there. And anyway, this is just some food for thoughts and things to consider. And I appreciate you watching.